Four on the list, and we have now gotten to the four Hall of Famers who are drafted late. So obviously not easy to rate these four guys in order. Uh, you know, Definitely couldn't argue with any of them in any order. So don't get mad at me if you think, especially a Cowboy fan. Sorry, I got your quarterback at number four. Drafted in the 10th round, 129th overall selection in 1964 by the Dallas Cowboys. That is Roger Staubach. In his 11 seasons, was named to 6 Pro Bowls, had a very impressive 85 and 29 record as a starter. 22,700 career passing yards, 153 career passing touchdowns, 4 times led the NFL in passer rating, twice was a Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys, career 11-6 record in the playoffs, did win a Super Bowl MVP, and Roger Staubach was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1985, and he is number 4 on this list. Number 3, drafted a while back in the 17th round with the 200th overall selection by the Green Bay Packers all the way back in 1956, so 60 years ago. Bart Starr was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, went on to play 16 seasons, won the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history, also won 3 NFL championships in the pre-Super Bowl era, so a 5-time NFL champ. 9-1 career record in the playoffs, was Super Bowl MVP for both of those first 2 Super Bowls. 94, 57, and 6 record as a starting quarterback. 4 times led the NFL in rating, 4 times in completion percentage, and was also a 4-time Pro Bowler. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1977. Bart Starr is number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list, drafted even a year before Bart Starr, so 61 years ago in 1955, was drafted in the 9th round, 102nd overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not known for the Pittsburgh Steelers, though. He's known for the Baltimore Colts. That's Johnny Unitas. Played 18 seasons in the NFL. Won 3 NFL championships, going 6-2 as a starting quarterback in the playoffs. Went 118, 64, and 4 in the regular season as a starting quarterback. Won 3 MVPs, was named to 10 Pro Bowls, and 5 times was a first-team All-Pro. For his career, 40,239 passing yards, 290 passing touchdowns, 3 times led in rating, 4 times touchdowns, and 4 times in passing yards. Johnny Unitas is the runner-up on this list. I'm sure if you follow football at all, you know who the one quarterback remaining is that was drafted later in his respective draft. Some may argue that this guy is the best quarterback of all time, and he's still going strong, heading into his 17th season in the NFL, although he will be suspended the first 4 games of the season. In the year 2000, he was drafted in the 6th round with the 199th overall selection by the New England Patriots. You guessed it, Tom Brady, number 1 on this list. As I mentioned, entering his 17th NFL season. He's won 4 Super Bowls in his career. He's won 3 Super Bowl MVPs in his career. He's won 2 MVPs and Offensive Player of the Years in his career. He's even won a Comeback Player of the Year in his career. Career 22-9 playoff record. Career 172 and 51 career regular season record. All his numbers are just off the charts. Made 11 Pro Bowls in his 16 seasons. Currently, his 58,028 passing yards are 5th in NFL history. His 428 passing touchdowns are 3rd in NFL history. Four times he's led the NFL in passing touchdowns, twice in passing yards, and twice in passer rating. Tom Brady, remarkable career, obvious first ballot Hall of Famer after he retires. As I mentioned, some may argue he's the best quarterback of all time. I can't really argue against that. Not saying he is. I don't really have an opinion as to who is. It's really, for me at least, it's really hard to compare, quarterbacks between eras because, some may also consider guys like Unitas, Starr, and Staubach as the best, and they played, in a far different era in the NFL than we currently see. There are rules, that allow the quarterbacks more leniency. They don't get hit, after they throw the ball 2-3 seconds after they throw the ball like they did back in the day. Of course, wide receivers can't be touched after 5 yards. Those are some things that weren't awarded to the quarterbacks back in the days of Starr, Unitas, and Staubach. But, as I mentioned, if someone wants to say Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time, I'm not going to debate with them. As much as I love debating, if you actually listen to my first ever show, I talk about top 10 reasons why I love sports, and one of the main reasons was, just debating with other sports fans, getting into, nice conversations with them, not heated conversations, but, a nice friendly debate, friendly banter about, some sport, whether it's comparing two athletes, two teams, who's a better team, who's a better player all time, it's fun to me, but, this is debate I'm really not sure I could get into because, like I said, hard to compare quarterbacks from different eras, and I didn't see, the quarterbacks from, Unitas, Starr, Staubach, etc., Terry Bradshaw, just to name a few. But, Tom Brady, at least for me, was first on this list of guys who were drafted later in their respective drafts, quarterbacks. Of course, this list was inspired by Dak Prescott, as he will be starting Week 1 for the Dallas Cowboys as a rookie, drafted in the 4th round this year. Tony Romo expected to miss about 6 to 10 weeks. So, will Dak Prescott be on this list, say, 15, 20 years from now? Only time will tell. Of course, if he continues what he's done in the preseason, he surely will. That isn't likely, but, you can never say for sure until we see what he does in the regular season, which I'm greatly looking forward to. Not just the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan. We play the Cowboys in Week 1. So secretly, I'm hoping Dak Prescott doesn't continue that preseason run. But, we'll see. Should be an exciting NFL season. Really not a clear-cut favorite. Of course, the Broncos defending Super Bowl champions, but we'll have a new starting quarterback, with Manning retiring and Brock Osweiler going to the Houston Texans. A lot of moves, a lot of player moves that happened this offseason. We'll be exciting to see all these new faces on new teams, see the rookies, a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, a guy like Sterling Shepard, wide receiver, on the Giants. Will the top 2 quarterbacks get to see some time? Jared Goff with the Rams. Right now it looks like they will start Case Keenum to begin the season, but, in all likelihood, Goff will, see the field at some point in the season, probably early on. The Eagles have Sam Bradford as their starting quarterback, but they did draft Carson Wentz 2nd overall. Will the fans begin to boo Bradford like they did last season and, put pressure on new head coach Doug Peterson to make the switch to the 2nd overall pick, Carson Wentz. A lot to look forward to in the NFL season. I'm sure I'll talk about it some more next week as, that will be the last show before the NFL regular season kicks off. So, I'm sure, I won't do a full-blown preview, but, I'll talk a little bit about football. Baseball will be a week closer to the playoffs. We'll be a week away from WWE's Backlash. Maybe we'll have another match or two announced by then. But that's next week. Now I got to focus on today. As I mentioned, have my fantasy football draft not too long from now. Let's hope I do a little better than last year, and maybe find the success that I found in recent years, like in baseball and basketball. But I'm still excited for it. Always fun. Live draft at my friend's house. Food. Believe he has a draft board. He did last year. So Andrew, if you're listening, or if you're listening later, thanks for having me in the league, and thanks for allowing me to win some of your previous leagues in baseball and basketball. That'll do it for episode number 81. Thank you for listening. As you know, I was on a little earlier today. Hit the subscribe button so you always know when I'm on the air. And I think I said follow earlier. I think it's subscribe you hit. Whatever. Till next week, goodbye, everyone.